Okay, in this video, we're going to go over this Siemens computer control cabinet. I showed you this in another video of my lab equipment, and it had a bunch of chipboards in it that I think have some value to it. There's a little bit of extruded aluminum, and then the rest of the panel is basically steel. There's some value in here. There's some wire. So we're going to take this thing apart and see what kind of money we can make off of this. I'm guessing maybe 75 bucks, but it's all, the auction's been completely paid for, so this is all just bonus money. And I haven't really even looked into this other than what I showed you in the other videos. Been busy doing other things, so let's go through this and see what we can get of some value and see if we can maybe make, like I said, 75 bucks on it. All right, let me set you up here and I'm gonna start tearing this thing apart. I'll start, I guess I'll just pull these drawers out. There's really no outside access to this thing. You got to take the screws out from the inside. Other than these fans right here, there's some screws on the outside. The rest of the hardware's on the inside. So, okay, I'll set you up and let's start taking this thing apart and see what kind of value we can get out of it. I know a lot of people were interested in these chipboards here, and I think they got some value to them. So, okay, let's go ahead and start working on this. All right, so I'm back on this computer chipboard cabinet that I've got pretty much tore apart. There's really nothing else in there to tear apart. It's all steel other than this extruded aluminum, which I'll probably pull that off. But here's the things that we got out of it. And I've got it all divided up to the best of my knowledge according to board sort. And I'll go over it real quickly with you. So here's what I have for, like, this is connector ends. They will pay $2.25 a pound for these connector ends. I'm not sure if these are included in that because it only shows pictures of like these on the website. But these have some gold in them, so I figured maybe they'll take them. I'll take them and count that as connector ends. So then I have right here just nothing, just junk boards. Those will be considered mid to low grade boards because they have nothing on them. And both low and mid grade pays 50 cents a pound. This board right here, this thing here is full of transformers and heat sinks, and there's a couple of chips on there. But I'm going to pull those transformers off of there and all that junk, and there's really nothing else on there of value, so this will go into the low grade as well. So then I have these, which have gold in them, so that tells me that they can be in the peripheral range, and these are going to be a low grade peripheral because there's no chips or anything on it. Then I have this one here, which has gold on it and has chips, but not a whole lot of chips. But I think that might go as peripheral high grade. So I got that. Then we have these right here, which I'm going to put these in the telecom. That would be the low grade telecom because they have these heat sinks on them. Now, if I take those heat sinks off, I could probably put them up in the high grade, but I mean, that's a majority of the weight on it, so it's really not worth it. And I got 4 of these. These are all the same thing. And then we have these here. I don't know what this is, but it's got gold around it. This one here, it's got gold, lots of chips. The backs are pretty bare. They all look like that. I've got this one here. And this one here is a really nice one. Lots of gold. Lots of chips, very populated. This one here, the same thing. Lots of gold, lots of chips. And the backs are the same. So these are gonna go in the telecom high grade telecom. So we got the low grade telecom and then the high grade telecom, which is $8.75 a pound. And then we got this in here. This was the main board. So I'm assuming, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that this is the large multi-socket server board, which pays the same as high-grade telecom. Lots of chips on there, lots of connectors. All right, so, and the backs are all pretty much the same. Nothing. All right, but it does look like it has gold in the adapters here. Lots of good stuff there. I don't know. I've been doing my homework on board sort, trying to figure out what's best. And, would this be worth a trip to board sort or to even mail it? I'm guessing that there's going to maybe be... Well, when I started this video, I was hoping to get like about $75 off of this. And the steel, I'm not going to get a whole lot of steel out of it. But these boards right here, I'm thinking I might get 40 bucks out of them. I don't know. Not really worth a trip to board sort or to even mail it. But I do have a whole bunch of other stuff over here that I have graded out. And I figured out that this is about probably $50 to $60 worth of stuff that I can just go ahead and take with me. So we're going to go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and weigh this up. Well, first I'm going to tear this thing down, and then we're going to weigh everything up. And then I'll weigh up all the steel that I got. And then I got this big pile of wire here that came out of the cabinet. So there's some some value there. And I just called a scrapyard. They said they'll pay 90 cents a pound for that. So that's pretty good, pretty decent. But okay, so let's go ahead and I'll real quickly tear this apart, and then we'll go ahead and start scaling all this up and see what kind of money we have sitting right here in the boards. And by the time you guys get this video, it'll be too late for you to tell me whether I was right or wrong, or I should have had higher grades or lower grades or whatever, because I'm already gonna include in this video the final, me going to board sort, because I'm just gonna drive there. It's a couple hour drive for me, and we'll just make a day of it, Charlotte and I, and we'll just make a day out of driving there and getting some money for it. Not a whole lot, but all right, so let's go ahead and weigh this stuff up here. All right, so I got my scale set up to pounds and ounces here. Let's go ahead and we'll weigh up this, what I consider peripheral low grade. And we come up with 9 ounces. All right, and then we will do what I consider peripheral high grade, and we got 11 ounces. And we got these connector ends here. I'm gonna throw that on there. Shows 1 pound. And we will do these, what I call low grade telecom. And we got 1 pound 12 ounces. And then since this I guess this main server board and the high grade telecom, they all pay the same, I'm just gonna weigh it all up together here. And we have 3 pounds of $8.75 a pound. So I'll just write 3 pounds down and we'll just combine it. And then our mid or low grade, however you want to call it, that pays 50 cents a pound. We have 2 pounds 3 ounces. All right, so let's go weigh up the wire, and we'll go weigh up the scrap and get a final of what I think we'll have. And then once I come back from board sort, I'll give you the actual. All right, let's go ahead and weigh up the rest of this stuff here. Well, let's go with the aluminum. I got my scale at 0, and all the aluminum's on there, and we come up with 7 pounds. 7 pounds. All right, let's go ahead and weigh up the wire. That tub on there, zero this out. All right, that's zeroed out. Well, that's marked. And there we go, and we come up with 14.55 pounds. All right, let's go ahead and weigh up the cabinet here and see what we got. All the nuts and bolts and all the extra steel is all included in this drawer. All right, she looks like she's off the ground, and we are at 196 pounds of steel. All right, let's add up the numbers and see what we come up with. All right, so here's the numbers that I come up with. When we went over all the boards, the peripheral high grade, the low grade connector ends, you can see all the prices there. It comes to a total of $44.69 for all the boards. But we're going to wait and see what board sort says. So we add that $44.69 onto the wire and the steel and the aluminum, and we come up with a total of $74.73 for this cabinet. So all the computer chipboards in the cabinet all come to $74.73. Now it's going to cost me a few bucks to go over to drive over to board sort, but we're just going to make a day out of it, and I'll get back with you and we'll see how things turned out. All right, Charlotte and I are getting ready to take off and go to board sort this morning, and we will get back with you when we get there.
See ya. Wow.
All right, so we're somewhere close to board sort.
Your destination is on the left.
Saying it's right here. I don't know. this is it. Boy, this is, I don't know. Let's go in here and check.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah, let's park right here. All right. Okay. 275 miles, 5 hours, and $32 in gas later, we have the results from Board Sort. So everything kind of came out the same. After we did all the numbers here, the only difference that they did there was, I think they downgraded the high grade telecom boards. They counted it as low grade telecom. I don't know. But anyways, I had a bunch of other stuff, not a bunch, but I had a few other boards that I took in with me. When I had all the boards from that cabinet, plus all the stuff that I had already had stored up for the last couple months or whatever, I ended up figuring I was going to get $105 with everything. And here's what Board Sort gave me. You can just look through those things. They didn't give me any high grade telecom. It was all low grade telecom. No big deal. So the extra couple of pounds that I had as high grade, they gave it as low grade, so it would have figured out about $4 less. So I had $105 is what I was expecting to get, and I ended up getting $101. So the place is actually called Akron Canton Computer Recycling in Alliance, Ohio. When we were driving there, I'm expecting to see this office building with neon lights that says "Welcome to BoardSort.com" or whatever, and it turned out it's just a warehouse, and they're actually building a place right beside it, so it's probably gonna get a lot neater or nicer or whatever. I don't know. People there were very nice. I talked to the guy that, if you ever watch the Board Sort videos on YouTube, that's the guy that wrote me my check out and went over everything, and so it was a good experience. A lot of people think, why would you drive 5 hours, 275 miles, and spend $32 in gas when I could have probably spent $30 just to mail it out? But I just wanted the experience. Charlotte and I made a day out of it. We had a great time stopping at convenience stores and getting snacks and drinks, and we just made a day out of it, and it was a mini vacation for us. So we had a great time doing it. But so all in all, instead of $44.69 for the boards, knock that off about $4. So in the overall, the wire stayed the same, the steel stayed the same, and the aluminum stayed the same. So it was a profit of about $70 instead of the $74 that I was expecting. But not bad at all. It was a good time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. All right, so I'm going to end this video here, and I got to get my stuff to the scrapyard so I can get paid. All right, thanks for watching.